Hey guys, welcome back to the Eyes on Leaves podcast. It's been a minute. There's been a lot of changes since we last recorded. Um, just a lot to talk about. So we're sorry that it's taken so long to get going here again.
It was legitimately
But,
January that our last
yeah.
episode was.
Was it January?
It was pre-Olympics.
Yeah.
We never did an
I thought
Olympics
it
show.
was February. You know what? It felt different because we were still doing like TikToks and reels.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
I guess
that's
we
true.
haven't
That's true.
recorded since like January. Holy crap!
yeah. It's been a minute. I think this pod, we're not as organized as we would have wanted to be, but we're gonna go through draft lottery, obviously. Maybe a little bit of our thoughts on Chayka and Sundin. I don't want to get into too much because I know how it's a little bit old. It's a little bit past, a little bit older than I would have liked it to be. But we're going to talk about Sundin and Chayka a bit. We'll obviously get on the playoffs right now. We have some of the Norris candidates were unveiled. I think that's the only awards that have been unveiled so far, right?
Calder as well.
Vezina.
Oh, Calder got
was,
unveiled.
wasn't it?
I missed that. I must have missed that.
Oh yeah, Vezina too. I think Vezina was.
Oh,
first.
right. Vesna did. Yeah,
Calder-
yeah.
You might have actually. They did it on the draft lottery for the.
Oh,
That's what
oh,
it was.
okay.
I missed the Calder.
Okay, so yeah, we'll get to all that as well. But yeah, I mean, first off, Leafs win the draft lottery after a terrible season. Before we get into what this means for the Leafs and who we think they're going to take, what they could do, I just want to lay it out that next year's pick will now go to Philly, and it is unprotected. The original trade was a top 10 protected pick to Philly, but since we kept this pick, it is now unprotected. And then in 2028, that pick will be going to Boston, and that is also unprotected.
Can I just add on that real quick?
Yep.
I watched the CJ show today, and Chris Johnson did outline that that's not confirmed.
Okay.
They're like the league, like Central Registry probably won't have a ruling on that until next year, just because apparently Boston also still does have like, it's weird. It's like they still have kind of like a claim to that pick. So
Right.
if it does get to the top 10, like if the Leafs whatever suck again next year and it
Yeah.
is in the top 10, Boston and Philly might have a bit of like a dispute over who gets that pick. It's not like confirmed. It's just apparently the league's leaning towards giving it to Philly just because their trade was first.
I do find it kind of stupid that we've had this trade for 2 years now
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, like,
league,
it's
and the
ridiculous.
teams still aren't sorted out on the conditions of the deal.
It's very stupid.
Unbelievable.
Very stupid.
Unbelievable that that's
Yeah.
not figured out the day that the trade is made.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. So Chris Johnson, when he tweeted that out, I responded. I said it's ridiculous that a pro sports league has teams that don't know the conditions of a trade that they made 2 years ago.
Mateo G29 underscore
Yeah,
on X.
Yeah, I remember someone saying that that it's embarrassing for the Leafs, and I'm like, that it's embarrassing for the Leafs, and I'm like, I don't know. I think it's embarrassing for all of them. Like, how as a league, how do you accept a trade that all three teams don't really know what's happening?
That's
and,
what I'm saying. Like, how does Central Registry approve
Yeah,
that?
it's
It's like, oh,
terrible.
so what happens if this happens? And it's like, oh, I don't know. You figure it out.
yeah, it's ridiculous,
Okay.
but
That's beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know. that's pretty dumb.
That being
Yeah,
said, that's kind of a terrible position to be in, but we also have the first overall pick. So, I mean, it's one of those things you cross that bridge when you get there and just kind of pray that you're not terrible
Yeah,
next year.
I don't
I was
think
listening
they're ever gonna
to-
be this bad again, though.
I don't
I was
think
listening
so
to
either.
Overdrive, and there it was right after the draft lottery. Excuse me, and they were saying, if would you rather have the pick? Would you rather have given this pick away so you insulate yourself for the future, or would you rather not draft for the next 2 years but take the first overall pick this year? And it's 100% this. Like, I would have taken it this year. I mean, the only.
What?
Yeah, like the only everyone keeps is talking about Landon DuPont, who's then projected to be the first overall pick next year, who's a stud defenseman. Obviously, I would have preferred if he was. Yeah, I mean,
They wouldn't
we'll
have
like.
had the pick anyway, though.
Well, I mean, if it was top 10 protected, we would have. Because if we gave this Boston pick this year, that we would have had a top 10 person. But anyways,
Yeah,
like, you don't
but
even
then
you don't know if the
if
lottery
you-
balls fall your way. You don't know if you're even in that position.
You're also, uh, you'd also be surrendering to the fact that like if you were in that position again next year where you're top 10 again, Matthews is done, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
you're
exactly.
really- Then you're really fucked. So it's like I don't.
Yeah.
And even if
And
Matthews
that's-
is done, got Gavin McKenna. Who cares, man?
And, like now you're in that position too, where like you have this guy that is like fucking next Kucherov, and I don't know. I just I think like take it now. You know, whatever is
Yeah.
gonna help you win as soon as possible. I think is the best.
yeah.
I think first overall pick is probably what's gonna help you win as soon as possible.
Absolutely, almost every time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree at all. I think the only thing now is I've seen people talk about like, well, what if you trade Matthews now? You try to like kind of bring in a younger core of players like we did back in 2017. But the problem is for me there is that we don't have our picks the next 2 years. So if like I saw some people saying if you trade Matthews to San Jose, then you could go get Reed or like whatever defenseman you want, and then you have McKenna and a defenseman or McKenna and Stenberg. And then it's like, and then you kind of usher in this new era of Leaf hockey. But then the problem is that I have for that is that we don't have our picks for the next 2 years, so you don't give these guys time to develop. Like by all accounts, McKenna all you guys know this, McKenna is not McDavid. He's not Matthews, where he's going to step in right away and he's going to be a dominant player.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of time. Like there is a case. Like I know people don't want to hear it, but there is a case where if he goes back to Penn State, it's not the worst thing for his development because he struggled at the start of the year and he only picked it up near the back half. So that's another reason why I don't think you can trade Matthews, because Brad Treliving put ourselves in a position here where we can't say, you know what, it's fine, we're going to rebuild, because you can't do that yet. Because everyone's like, oh, well, what if you just go accumulate more picks? It's like, yeah, but those picks aren't ours anymore. So you're going to go trade Matthews for probably a late first, 2 late first probably, and a prospect, unless obviously you do it this year. But still, I don't think this is a draft year where you want to load up in the top 5. There is a lot of good players in it, but I don't think it's like it's obviously not the McDavid Eichel draft where you have that high quality of players up in the top 5 that are franchise changing. So I don't think it's the year to do it. And also, like I said, if we do commit to a rebuild, we don't have those first 2 picks for next year that are ours. So it doesn't matter. If we finish first overall again, you're handing Philly Landon Dupont, or you're handing Boston Landon Dupont, however that shakes out. So it's a really tough, it's a really tough situation that they're in right now, and they're gonna have to make some changes. And I think, first of all, is the pick for everyone here McKenna? Is that what we're agreeing on?
Yeah, I had been tossing and turning on like if they trade down. But I think if you are picking first overall, you have to go with McKenna. Like, no disrespect to Stenberg, he'll be a good, like, really good player. Just the skill ceiling with McKenna is just, it's too much for you to just pass on.
I was thinking about the trade. Sorry, Jacobs, you could go ahead. Do you have McKenna first?
I'm also going McKenna. I mean, Sten might get the edge for me if he was a center, but they're both wingers, so I think you go McKenna there. And also, like, I think it would be foolish to take a defenseman first overall. As bad as we need one, I don't think any of the ones available are as good as McKenna or Stenberg.
No.
So
The gap
just wouldn't be worth
there
it.
is a gap. Like Reed will be I think a number 1 defenseman. Like Verhoff can probably
has the upside.
He has the upside. I think Reed's better. The biggest issue with Verhoff is skating, which is very important. But
big part of it.
I don't know. I don't think it's enough to justify picking.
Yeah, like the other thing.
If Gavin McKenna is sorry, Mateo, but it's like my thinking is if Gavin McKenna is a franchise altering player, why would you not take that guy? I mean, the example I always think of is when Montreal picks Jesperi Kotkaniemi 3rd overall because they needed a center, and that's the guy who was projected to go like 15th, 20th, and they take him 3rd overall. Quinn Hughes went 7th. Even Brady Tkachuk you say what you want about him.
Yeah.
He's a pretty damn good player in this league. Goes 4th overall. They made a mistake there, and
yeah,
I
drafting
just
for
think that-
need always Yeah, you're right. I mean, drafting for need is always a risk, right? Like, I don't think it's something that honestly I don't believe in drafting for need, but the Leafs are in a weird position where it's like we haven't had a number one defenseman since like Borja Salming, and it's like how do you get those defensemen? You don't trade for them. Like we missed the boat on Dobson, we missed the boat on Hughes. Like those are like the two rare times where a number one defenseman is going to be on the trade market, and
like,
even if we don't have the
can't
assets
even-
for it.
Yeah, we don't have the assets, and I couldn't even tell you. Like I look around the league, I'm like I couldn't even tell you who's going to be
No,
available. Like
and maybe that's something that opens up in the summer, but
yeah, like obviously sometimes things shake out. It's
Yeah.
just looking at it. There's not really any contract situations arising. There's not
Yeah.
real like.
No, I mean,
think next year it starts getting a little more interesting because there's guys like Makar available. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll double check this, but I think Heiskanen is as well, or Hughes as well. I know for sure.
yeah. So, but
Heiskanen might be-
I'm
I
pretty
saw
confident
Elliot
that all
Freeman
these
say on
guys are going to
Hughes-
extend, though.
yeah.
yeah,
I saw
a lot
that
of
thing
them
on-
will extend, but it does make it interesting.
Yeah,
I saw Elliot Freeman say on Hughes that he thinks he'll sign a 3-year deal to take him to free agency with Jack.
Oh fucking god, dude!
Yeah, yeah. So
I was
like,
going to
okay.
say about defensemen. Oh yeah, I was going to say on our last show we talked about Dougie Hamilton. If you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
call that guy a number one defenseman, if he's 34, 35 years old now.
No,
and
I-
still making
so-
9.5.
If we
he's not a
revisit
number
this later,
one,
I do
but-
want to talk about him. But
yeah, well, I am going to we'll revisit it because we are going to talk about Chayka and some of the comments he had, and specifically he talked about the blue line. And I have a different target in mind for who I'd want the Leafs to target this offseason on the blue line, but I also just think
I wonder. If
Me and
I
Seb-
wonder if I'm thinking of this.
yeah, me and Seb were talking about because we watched the draft lottery together, and we were talking about if you trade down, and we were kind of going through all the teams. It's like San Jose is not going to trade down with you because they would need a defenseman. They don't need another forward. They're more than happy to sit at 2 and take Reed, Verhoff, whoever they have higher on their defenseman board. And I think San Jose is one of those rare spots where drafting for need kind of works for them because I think they have so many forwards already that are so loaded up that you really don't need a Stenberg. You don't need a McKenna there. Yeah, like I think my rule is don't draft for need, but like there's always the exception to the rule, and it's all. And I mean, San Jose is one of those rules. They're loaded up with your own talent up front, and then you go to 3, and it's Vancouver, and I think if you tell Vancouver Stenberg is still going to be there at 3, I don't think they would even consider trading up. Like I don't see the point in that for them.
Yeah, they're going
And then-
Malhotra or Stenberg for sure.
Yeah, and I think by all the reports are that they really like Malhotra. Obviously, Stenberg with the Swedish connection there. Vancouver loved their Swedes, so I think that was one of the guys that they would have been looking at to take first overall if they kept that pick. 4 now is New York, right?
Yeah. No, Chicago, and then New York.
Chicago. Chicago has no reason to trade up either. I mean, like, why are you going to trade for the first overall pick? Honestly, if I'm Chicago and I cover them for the Hockey Writers, and I had someone else wrote about it already, so I didn't get a chance to write about it. But I would be trading that pick for if you get Jason Robertson. I'm trading that pick for Jason Robertson. I'm trading that pick for help now because like you're gonna get Bedard up to like year 7 of his career and not even sniffing the playoffs. You need to give him some help.
I think if they are keeping that pick, they're going probably defense.
I mean, yeah, you're probably looking at Verhoff. You're probably looking at Verhoff at that point, and
Verhoff or
then
Reed.
yeah, New York, like maybe they trade up. I don't know if they. I feel like you kind of just wait and take the best player available.
Yeah,
And then
New York
the other one
didn't
was
pick.
Calgary. Sorry,
Okay.
Did New York pick last year?
who did they take?
Oh, they traded their first in the Miller trade.
Right, they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's rough.
They traded their first.
And then
Yeah,
the other one would be Calgary. And I think this was the team that me and Seb were talking about the most because they desperately need this like a forward. And McKenna, McKenna would have been huge for them. But we were going through it, and they don't have the assets to make that jump that I think that the Leafs would need. and I don't think that they'd be willing to give up a first overall pick next year with, like I said, Landon Dupont available, like a potentially franchise-changing defenseman. So and if they do, it's going to end up being a top 5 protected pick if I had to guess. So it's like you're looking at a really, there's not really a lot of assets within that top 5 for guys to make that jump. And it's either that or it doesn't make sense. The other team I kind of thought about was maybe Winnipeg, because they really need that young talent to maybe keep the cup window open. But again, what are the assets they're giving up? They don't really have that prospect pool that would really entice the Leafs.
I don't know if the Leafs would drop that far, maybe.
That's also the other thing. Why would you're falling way too far out of the top 5 now? You know,
if I'm John Chayka talking to Winnipeg in that context, I'm asking for Josh Morrissey, which they're not going to give you. You know,
they're not. Gonna give them. Do you guys want to guess who that pick ended up with? The one in the JT Miller trade, because it did not end up. Well, it ended up.
Is it Pittsburgh?
I already looked it up, so
we're close.
It's not Pittsburgh, so it's a Metro team then.
They're neighbors.
Oh, Philly?
Yeah. Do you know who the pick is?
So it's a first round pick, and it was in the JT Miller trade.
Yeah.
And they traded it to Philly. Oh my God, who did they trade to Philly? Who did they trade for from Philly?
It wasn't. So okay. Do you just want me to tell you?
Yeah, can't think of any Rangers Philly trades.
That pick went to Vancouver. Vancouver traded it for Marcus Pettersson, and then at the draft, Pittsburgh, I think, moved up. Or
yeah,
moved down. They might have moved down, but they
moved down.
It's Dubas. He moved down.
They moved down. Flyers moved up. They picked Jack Nesbitt, who had 58 points in 55 OHL games.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, New York isn't like as bad as a position as us. The only problem is that they own their first round pick. That they own their next first round picks. That's the only difference between us and New York. I think we're very comparable, but they also have a franchise goalie. So it's like, but we have a better forward core. They have Adam Fox, but like that Adam Fox situation is really weird. I don't think the Rangers love him. Like it's odd.
Bizarre.
Leaf?
Yeah, I mean, like would you give up the first overall pick for Adam Fox? Like,
no.
I'd give it up for Adam Fox plus.
Yeah, I mean,
Adam Fox,
much
5th overall.
Much,
that's probably all you're getting.
I think that becomes too much. I think if I'm San Jose, I'm looking to see if I'm San Jose, I'm calling New York and like, hey, do you want the second overall pick for Fox? Like, then you have. Because like it looks like all those forwards are ready to take a big step next year. Then you have that veteran number 1 defenseman on the blue line that you desperately needed.
Man,
and now you're
Adam
looking
Fox
at
on the
a real
Sharks.
contender. Yeah, like that'd
be disgusting.
Yeah,
they're gonna be
so
Titans.
Yeah, so I think what we've landed on here is that trading down doesn't make any sense for the Leafs, and you just have to select. And I think you could do a lot worse than Gavin McKenna for I desperately want the Leafs to get a defenseman, but I don't think you could do it in this draft. I think I like some defensemen in this draft, but it just doesn't make sense to really go out and use that pick.
I mean, dude, you could it's like, yeah, they need the defenseman very badly, and I just don't think trading down from first overall has not happened since like 2003. It's probably not going to happen this time either. Like, Gavin McKenna, I think, is like, in terms of like how good of a first overall pick, I think slides in like right under that, like
Jack Hughes,
Celebrini, Bedard. No, better than Hughes, I'd say. Like, I think he slides in right under that, like Bedard, Celebrini, kind of like McDavid echelon, but like ever so slight, just in terms of like his pure skill.
Yeah,
he's like slightly better than would like a Matthews would be. Like, he is such just like a cerebral player. Like, he doesn't necessarily have any of the like standout, whatever skills. Like, he has a really
his shot, yeah.
His skating's really good, but he's not like the fastest player. It's the biggest strength is his mind, which is probably the most valuable asset you can have, because you can't teach.
Do you guys get a little bit scared that a lot of these things that we talk about with McKenna kind of sounds like Mitch?
No, Mitch Martin was a fantastic player. Just wasn't
No,
a fit
I know, but there
Toronto.
was like
But if you watch McKenna, it's different. Like Marner, I'd say his biggest assets were his skating, just the pure passing.
don't get me
ability.
wrong.
But McKenna thinks the game like at a different level. Like he has an ability to, like, he can change speeds, whatever, like of the pace of the game. Like college hockey is fast, and he has the ability to just walk in there and slow it down at a dime and make everybody just puck watch. You know, like it's.
Don't get me wrong, Mitch. Like obviously, Mitch is obviously a great player, but I'm more talking about the perimeter style of play, where it's like where we see it in the playoffs. That's where where we start to struggle with a lot of the players that we've had before. And I'm not saying that like is it a concern that he's like Mitch because Mitch was a bust or anything. Obviously not. He's always hovered around 100 points, salty level defensive forward. Penalty killed, but McKenna for one isn't that good defensively. If you look at a lot of scouts, they do say his defensive team improved big time, but also it's still not elite. And he doesn't penalty kill, but where I always like the perimeter game always kind of scares me. I mean, I think a lot of superstars you look at are a little bit more perimeter than anything, just because that's where you have the space. But you have to be able to take the puck to the net, and I think you look at guys like McDavid who will take the puck to the net, McKinnon, Draisaitl. So
Honestly, like the best comparison for McKenna is Kucherov, like in terms of just how they play and how they think the game. Like it is a very similar comparison, and I know in the past few years Kucherov, whatever, hasn't been amazing in the playoffs, but like during Tampa's prime,
yeah,
you know,
didn't he win a Conn
he
Smythe?
was elite.
Oh wait, no,
Never won a
Vazzy
Conn,
win that.
never won a Conn Smythe, but
Yeah.
like if we're looking at their prime, the 3 straight Cup Finals, he had 34 points in 25 games, 32
Yeah.
points in 23 games, 27
Yeah.
points in 23 games. Like he was a
Yeah.
force. So I'm not too worried about it, just because again I think he has potential to be like a top 5 winger in the game. And he thinks the game at like a different level to where I don't think it's as much of a concern as it was with like Marner. Like because again Marner was elite. Marner thinks the game at a very high level. I just don't think he has the hockey IQ of a guy like McKenna. Like McKenna's hockey IQ is next level.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just something I was thinking about. Like you hear all these comps, and I always think about, it's like now that we've all lived through the Leafs coming up and then coming down and seeing the problems with them when they were at their highest peak and then coming down, and you just read a lot of the prospects. That's why I think people love Stenberg, and I think a lot of it's just his overall just complete game. And that's why I think there are some people who think Stenberg is will be a better NHL player than McKenna, just because of how, and also he has that thing that Matthews had where he's playing with men at the age of in his draft year, and he's playing in Sweden, and so that's an interesting thing too. I think I still go McKenna. I think his offensive upside's higher than Stenberg, but
Way higher. Stenberg
Yeah.
has the much higher floor. Like he probably has the highest floor in the draft class, to where like he will, I think, definitely be
an elite winger.
top 6 winger.
Yeah.
It's just how much production is he going to bring? Like I think he fares out to kind of be like a Sam Reinhart kind of guy, where he's all situations could be like at his ceiling, like that point per game.
If he played center, that'd be an interesting, because then if you're playing center, then you're getting into the Barkov comparison discussion there. Obviously, there's not the only center in this draft is Caleb Malhotra. I think he's kind of risen on people's draft boards a lot, I think, if I'm not wrong, over the last little bit. And he's the only center there, and I think that's another reason why if you're Vancouver, I know it sucks that you lose the draft lottery and you also lost it to Toronto, and everyone out west hates us. But if you're Vancouver, it's not the worst thing in the world, to be quite honest. Like you're still gonna have your pick of Stenberg, Malhotra, one of the defensemen if you really want to go there. I don't think you would. You need a forward, but like you have that option to go with Malhotra. You have that option to go with Stenberg. Yeah, like
anything, dude.
I don't think it's the worst position in the world for Vancouver. I think you're actually kind of in a good position, because now you have a lot more options. I know sometimes I don't know if organization, like they keep talking about Malhotra, and I wonder if if they really want to take him, but if they had the first overall pick, they would have said we can't take Malhotra first. Yeah. So I don't think it's. I think the team that as if you guys followed our Instagram, we just did a collab post with Puck Empire, and me and Seb and Jacob have all known Puck Empire for a bit, and he did a podcast with Mike Bartner yesterday. If you guys follow the hockey media landscape, you know Mike Bartner, but he Pondo's Puck Empire brought it up that he thinks Calgary's the biggest losers of the draft lottery, and I agree with that. I mean, they dropped hard, and they don't have those young prospects coming up. Like obviously Perek is unbelievable, but they really needed McKenna, and I think everyone focused on Vancouver, and I agreed with Panos that Calgary really got screwed in this draft lottery.
They went from 4th to 6th, and even though they only dropped 2 spots, it's like that.
It's a big 2.
Like you could have had Verhoff, Reed,
Malhotra,
Malhotra. Now you're looking at like a Carroll's, Tynan Lawrence, which is like.
And Tynan Lawrence struggled this year too. You might be looking at Bjork, who's 5'8", and like how.
But
yeah, but he's also 5'8", and it's like how good you have to be.
Center. He's probably gonna be like a Zach Benson kind of, like that's not gonna turn around.
It's true.
Like Zach Benson's a good player. That's not turning around your franchise.
I feel like that kind of that size player is more suited for the Western Conference, anyways. Though at least how things stand
as long as you're a good skater in the West.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely tough time to be a Calgary Flames fan.
Yeah, that's why me and Seb were looking at the trade up with them, and but then we looked at it and we're like, well, what do they give up? Because like I already said, they're not
Jonathan Huber.
I don't think. Because like I said earlier, like they own their first round picks, but it's like those are going to be probably top 10 protected, top 5 protected, I think, in the next couple of years. Because even if they get McKenna, they're not going to be a playoff team, and they still will probably be a lottery team. But you needed McKenna, or you needed Stenberg, or you needed Malhotra to kind of push that rebuild along a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're in a tough spot. Jacob, do you have anything else to add on to the lottery?
Not really. No, I think we got it all.
Do you guys? Okay, yeah. Just go ahead, Seb.
I have one more thing to add on McKenna, but basically, it kind of ties into Craig Berube.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Berube.
Okay, we could talk about that later.
Yeah.
The only other thing with McKenna is like I think he's going into a really good situation here with the Leafs, not just because of whatever big franchise, everything like that. Like that's all cool. I think the storyline of that is cool in itself that he gets to stay, in Canada with a big team and whatever.
Yep.
But the biggest thing with him is he thrives off of because he is an elite playmaker. And he thrives playing with, people that can play the puck in the net at that same level with him. And like great finishers. Mm-hmm. This is like probably the perfect line mate for Austin Matthews, like the perfect future line mate. Mm-hmm. I don't think you could get much better stylistically than a guy like Gavin McKenna. Like he will find open spots for Matthews. He is so good himself that he will draw people away from Matthews, because I think we saw this year that when you have Matthews kind of on his own line, he sucks in a lot of that attention defensively, and there's not really another threat on the line, and there's nobody that can really keep up with the give and go play that he likes to do.
Well, I was just gonna say, imagine McKenna instead of Domi now. Like that's what you're looking at. Like that's
it's insane. Like that upgrade. And
there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, McKenna's not going to be elite out the gate. I think we have to temper expectations in that sense. Like I think some people think he's going to come in and immediately, be like a point per game guy. No, I could see him struggling, especially if Craig Berube is the coach going into this year, because it's a very different style. McKenna's very much an east to west, not north to south, forechecking kind of player. Like that's not his game. If Berube is still coach, I could definitely see him struggling coming into the year and having to adjust, very similar to what it was with Penn State. But in the future, like this is,
the Leafs' future just got a lot brighter. I mean, we just watched Cowan play really well down the stretch. I know those games. I know those games mean nothing for a lot of people, but for it's really encouraging to see Cal. And not only was he producing, but he was a pain in the ass. People hated him.
100%. We're also seeing, sorry to cut you off, Seb, but it's the same thing with Matthew Nyes. I could see that guy being a point per game player throughout his career. Like he's really turning into a really good player.
He was that at the start of the year. Like I think we kind of forget he was playing at like 100-point pace to start the year for like 20-30 games, and then the injuries for him just kind of started to pile up, and
Matthew Nyes
down a little bit.
Fantastic player.
I don't think he'll be a 100-point player.
The funny thing is about Nyes. Yeah, the funny thing is about Nyes is that I thought it felt like he had a little bit of a down year, and then you looked at his stats, and he's like, he wasn't the goal scorer he was last year, but he was assists everywhere, man, everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot to be excited about for the Leafs' future, because I still think there's a lot of really tough. It's still a really tough situation that we're in right now, and I think the number 1 overall pick helps big time, but. We're gonna get into Chayka here pretty soon, but because he has a lot of work to do. That's the end of the story. Like this team isn't saved by McKenna. We didn't just get McDavid, and even if we did get a McDavid, it's like we still have the struggles with no blue line, goaltending. Just we're gonna go through all of it, but I just what do you guys think about it as a TV product? Because I think in the past. In the past, I thought the draft lottery was a snooze fest, but man, I thought they did a pretty good job. Yeah,
this new system never changed it. This is awesome. With like, you're looking for like the number.
Yeah,
it's like the live odds are changing. Yeah. It's so cool. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I actually didn't catch it live because I was on the bus, then my phone died, so it was actually really funny. I texted Seb. I said, "Hey, my phone's about to die. I can't watch this broadcast. Text me when we find out the result." Then my phone died like 2 minutes after that, so I had to wait like 20 minutes to get home, and I was just sitting on the subway, just like stewing, just like, oh man, what happened? What's going on? And I get home, charge my phone. First thing I see, holy shit, they won. Text from Seb. I'm like, this guy's fucking with me. There ain't no way. But yeah, watching back the highlights of the broadcast. Yeah, that's the best they've done it so far.
It was electric.
Do you guys think that they should change the odds to make it? Because now this is back-to-back years where teams have won, like 2 teams have won the lottery. I know it was a little bit more drastic with New York jumping 10 spots, and then you had Utah also jump up into second. And I saw this conversation online, and aside from it being like people like Sens fans who are upset that the Leafs won or whatever, but like I do think there is a conversation to be had when you have back-to-back years where teams are jumping up into the first overall and second overall spot. Like, do you guys think that yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, to be fair for Utah, they jumped up to 4 last year.
Yeah,
because the way it works is you can only jump up 10 spots. So like,
right.
If you are in that like 16 to like 4 or 12 range. Or 16 to like 13 range, you can still win a lottery pick. It's just you move up 10 spots.
Right.
But I think that's just a product of bad luck, to be honest with you. Like, if you look at the past lottery, because they've had this specific lottery system for like 6 years now. It's just they've only started to televise it this way the past like 2 years. But if we look at the past few,
I mean, the Leafs were a ball away from getting McDavid, right? Like I think it was pretty much they were down to 1 ball, and then ours got knocked out by somebody. I can't remember who.
Yeah, like I mean, if we look at the past few drafts, I mean, like Chicago and San Jose were, I think bottom. And I think the other thing too with the Leafs is like the Leafs were a bottom 5 team this year. It's not like it's that crazy for them to win the draft lottery. Like
I just don't think we're the prototypical bottom 5 team. You know what I'm saying?
We're not prototypical bottom 5. It's just they finished bottom 5. Like it's not ridiculous to say that they would have got first overall there.
I wonder
standings again, but here, Jacob, you go. I'll look at the standings.
Yeah, I guess wonder if there's a way that you could tie your odds to the amount of points you had in the standings, because there will be years like correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like last year was the type of year where there was not much discrepancy between like 32 and 28, say.
Oh,
but
I see
this
what
year,
you're saying.
Vancouver had like 50 points. Vancouver was like probably the worst season they've had in their franchise's history, except for expansion years,
Yeah,
I don't.
I understand what you're saying. Oh, sorry. Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
No. That is pretty much it. I guess I don't know if there's an easy way to do that, but
Yeah,
maybe Vancouver's odds should have been higher.
I don't know. Like, I think maybe it's just a coincidence that it's back-to-back years, and we'll have to wait again next year. But I think it's kind of tough for the league if you keep having people winning, even if it's jumping up 10 spots from 14 to 4. It's tough for those. It's tough for teams in the league. Like, I can understand why teams at the top of the lottery would be, like, if you're Calgary, I would be pissed right now. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
What?
sorry. I'm looking at 23-24 standings. The Sharks had 47 points.
they were awful. They were
54 losses.
yeah, they were one of the worst hockey teams I've seen in my life.
I didn't even realize that.
The only other team was that I can remember was that Colorado team, and that was like at the start. Like, it was like very
the
early
Calvin
on.
Pickard Avs.
Yeah,
But no,
Yeah.
so that was the Celebrini draft.
Mm-hmm.
The top three was San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim. Bottom three in the NHL was San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim.
yeah.
That works out almost exactly.
Yeah.
We look at 2023, 2022, 2023. It was Anaheim, Columbus, Chicago. Chicago jumped up from 3 to 1, and then it was the same after that. Columbus won second overall, right? Because Fantilli, or no?
Yes.
Was that the Lindstrom year?
Anaheim won it second. Anaheim
I
won
thought-
second.
Was that the
No,
Lindstrom
it
year
was-
or was that the Fantilli year?
It was Fantilli year because it was Bedard, Carlson, Fantilli. I remember Fantilli dropped to 3.
That's right.
But yeah, like, I mean, I think it's just bad luck the past 2
Yeah.
years, which all in all makes the product more fun. But
Yeah.
and then
That's true.
2021, 2022, Montreal finished last. They won first overall.
True. Yeah, I don't know. It was just a conversation I saw on Twitter, and I found it kind of like a little bit of an interesting discussion just because it's happened back-to-back years, and it's I mean, San Jose was only supposed to draft, what, 7, was it?
I think it was 8th, 7th,
8th, yeah. And they jump up to 2. Honestly, I just think it's more about the teams who won than anything. I mean, obviously, no one likes the Leafs, but then the other things, San Jose, like they have an embarrassment of riches, and
they don't
yeah,
need this. Like,
yeah. So I don't know if that's just the reason, but anyways, we are going to move on from the draft lottery now, and from the draft, and we're going to start talking more about Chayka and Sundin. Obviously, they were hired. I don't really want to go through the press conference. I think if you want to hear about the original press conference of Steve Simmons, from a person who, like, listen, he's a professional journalist, has been a journalist for a long time, but from someone who's in journalism school, the question, I don't have a problem with the question, could have been a little bit more professional about it. He doesn't need to be at the end of the day. If he wants to do that, that's his own prerogative, like, whatever, you can do whatever you want. But honestly, I didn't think it was a terrible question. I think it's a very valid question, and I think people who are upset about the media going at Pelly, I don't understand, because I mean, Pelly's given us every single reason to be skeptical about his hires.
for sure.
Chayka has a checkered past. Like, that was a really weird hire to me.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just so for people to expect like I saw people comparing it to Sunny Meta in New Jersey, where it's like a lot more just happy, like, welcome back to New Jersey. It's not the same situation, man. It's just really not the same
You have
situation
Sonny
at all.
Meta, who's been at AGM for however the fuck long.
In Florida,
literal
Yeah.
dynasty.
yeah,
Coming back, like, it's like a homecoming. It's like, dude, it's not the same.
Yeah, this is a weird moment in Leafs history, and yeah, like you said, I don't have a problem with Steve Simmons asking that question. As a matter of fact, going into that press conference, I was really hoping that someone was going to press Keith Pelly about this. But I think one thing that you said a couple days ago when we were talking about it, Mateo, is asking a question that way, you're not going to get an answer out of him,
Exactly.
and you
That's
didn't.
what I was gonna say.
That's what I was saying from the journalistic school perspective. Like, we talk about how to go through press conferences, and you have to find a way to massage your question in a little bit. Like, one of the examples I had, because I covered the Scepters as a credentialed writer a few times, and there was one where in overtime, Scepters kind of got screwed, slashing, like, someone got their stick slashed into, puck is sitting in the crease, could have ended it, and Scepters ended up losing. And I asked Troy Ryan, the head coach, well, before, I'm like, because it was my first time really asking questions. I was like, do you guys ask about officiating in press conferences? Because it depends the coach. Like sometimes they're a little bit more open to it. Sometimes they don't even want to talk about it. And they told me like, yeah, like you might have to. He might just give you like, what did you see? Like, and that's just it, or I'm not going to comment on that. So I was like, oh, like when you don't get the calls going your way, how do you refocus? And that's how I got the answer of Troy Ryan on officiating when he doesn't really like to talk about officiating. So there is ways where you like you're going to get an answer out of somebody if you frame a question differently. At the end of the day, it's Steve Simmons. Everyone acts surprised. Like I mean, like it's like
that was my thing. Is like this dude is just he has the reputation of just not being a very a journalist with a very high integrity, for whatever. And I wasn't, again, like the question itself was very fair to ask. I just don't think he asked it in a professional way at all. And if you're gonna ask it that way, don't expect a professional response.
Con artist.
100%. Like
you can't say that at that press conference and expect a genuine answer back, and then he gets pissed when he doesn't get a genuine answer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think
I don't know what you're like. What are you doing, dude?
I think you're right. Like from that perspective, from the angle of professionalism and journalism, can't do that. You're not going to get what you want. From a fan perspective, he went up there and he made Keith Pelly uncomfortable, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't listen, man. I don't want to do a deep dive in the press conference. I think it's been analyzed to death already by everyone else, and and we've kind of missed the boat on it. But I think Keith Pelly looked like a complete idiot up on the stage the whole time. Don't think he had good answers for anything.
He looked so dumb. Like, dude, like Chayka and Sundin were actually speaking pretty well for themselves, and every time
I liked Sundin.
He would cut in and just say some garbage. It's like, dude, let them speak. They're doing fine. You don't need to be spoken to right now. Just stop.
Do you guys want to talk about the hires a little bit, or if you had something else to add, Mateo?
I just, the other thing that I didn't like from Pelly, and that I know I said I didn't want to do deep dive, but there was one thing that really bothered me is the 5-second outburst he had where he's like, I didn't use AI. Ty Domi wasn't part of the search. And it's like we know you're lying, dude. Like, come on. Like, like it's just whatever. The only thing I'd say is I like Sundin as part of the front office. I did want a former Leaf in there. And I think we have a lot of smart former Leafs. And I think Sundin is one of those guys. I liked one, like it's felt like it's been a very long time since we had somebody in that front office who cared about the fans that much. And I think Sundin coming in, and he really hit a really good note with, I know how much it means to win here. I know how passionate the fans are. And he never went into, it's a high pressure market. He just said, it means a lot to win here. It means a lot to play here. I played here.
Best
I wanted to win
world.
Here. Yeah.
The first thing he says after they win the draft lottery.
I was just about to say that.
For Toronto fans. This is great, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm happy for the fans of Toronto.
It finally feels like we have somebody who understands what it means to be in this market. And, you could say, and listen, there's obviously two sides of former players being involved in front offices. I mean, you look at Stevie Yzerman in Detroit, it's been a little bit of disaster there. But then you look at Joe Sakic in Colorado, and obviously you win a cup there. And I think there is value to having former players, especially former captains of the team, play in or that played here, come back and manage. Because I think what it means to play here. You know what it takes to play here. At the end of the day, it is a high pressure market. No one's lying about that. You're not gonna get any arguments from anybody. It is a high pressure market. You're in the mecca of hockey. Like you gotta. So it's nice to have Sundin there. Where we'll get to Matthews, but if he does want to stay, he has someone to lean on there. I do like that he moved his family to Toronto. I didn't know if he was going to end up doing it. I think it's important that he's here every day. But yeah, Jacob, did you have anything that you want to add on to that?
I think Matt Sundin is a can't miss hire. I think he's in a good title role, and you can go back to the press conference and see that they didn't really answer what his role is, but whatever, he's there, and I'm glad that he is. Most of my thoughts about this decisions that they made are on John Chayka. And what I will say about John Chayka is I think that based on what he said, at least he shares the sentiment of Matt Sundin, where he's, for the fans. He understands the fan perspective of things. Whether he does or not, I don't know, but that's what he said at least. So might as well take his word for it for the time being. Are we gonna get into this right now?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. I think well, what exactly did you want to start with? Do you have anything that you really want to start with?
Well, yeah, sure. John Chayka hasn't worked in the NHL in 6 years. God knows what he's been doing for the past 6 years.
Wendy's.
Chaykanator.
The Chaykanator.
Follow Eyes on Leafs on Instagram.
Doing the Mike Gillis special of just going around and talking to people.
I will say the one thing about Chayka that concerned me is that every time they asked him about, like, you've been out of the game for a while, which is a valid question that I didn't really think about. It's like, you haven't been in the game in 5 years. Like, how are you going to catch up to these other GMs who know the league inside out? And he just kept saying that the capital side, it's like, dude, like, it's not the same. Like, it's whatever. Like, I don't know. Listen, Chayka wasn't the guy I wanted. I think I wanted Gillis in there, but then also the other thing with Gillis that's kind of weird is that Elliot Friedman was saying that he thinks that he campaigns himself too much, and it scares front offices away from hiring him. And I think the reason is for that is that he's scared that the organizations are scared that if you hire this guy, you are never going to get any sacred information inside the organization ever again. Like, everything's going to get out to journalists. So I wonder if that's something that MLSE didn't love about Gillis.
That was an issue under Brad.
It was. Yeah, we were really leaky.
Huge issue.
Like, say what you will about Dubas and also Lou, but you didn't get shit out of Toronto.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything.
Yeah. And I think that there's value to that. I think there really is value to that because I think, listen, like, I always get mad when everyone says how hard it's brutal to play here. No one wants to play here. But at the end of the day, in a market like Toronto, sometimes you need stuff to stay in the dressing room because not everything needs to be a complete blow up media shitstorm. Like, it doesn't need to be that. And I think when you have an organization that leads like that, you just bring more attention to yourself. And I think a year like we had just had is like a perfect example where you need a tight front office that doesn't let anything get out, tight locker room. And listen, people don't like what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room thing. And I mean, there's a whole other issue to that saying, and we don't need to get into that. That's a whole different conversation. But there is some stuff where when it happens in the locker room, you don't need an argument between players saying no into the press. I mean, you look at Vancouver, the whole reason why that team collapsed is because of the dressing room, and then it didn't help that you had the media knowing exactly who, exactly what, exactly when they were arguing, and then asking them about it. It's like at the end of the day, yeah. Like, at the end of the day,
JT Miller and Elias Pettersson ordered for dinner when they had the argument.
Yeah, exactly.
You know everything.
Yeah, so I do wonder if the Leafs weren't a fan of Gillis pushing that hard. I wanted Sonny Meta. I think all three of us wanted Sonny Meta, right?
I think that was the guy, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, I think the reporting was that New Jersey heard the Leafs want to talk to him, and they gave him the job instantly and ended their search. So I think that's really disappointing. Really disappointing the hire. I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to add on the Chayka thing before we start talking about his quotes on the roster?
Yeah. He left Arizona in disgrace, and it was, I don't remember if it was while he was still GM or after he left, the Combine thing came out, and he was barred from the league for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He had to be reinstated, and I saw
for a year, suspended.
Yeah,
for a year.
Yeah.
I don't think
Batman
that this is. Yeah, I don't think this is a guy that ever should have got a GM job ever again, based on not only how his tenure ended in Arizona, but also how it went in Arizona. It didn't go well, and I think it's something that has been capped off by trading away any young talent Arizona had for aging players like Phil Kessel and Taylor Hall. And don't get me wrong, those were two guys that were good when they acquired him, but the second they stepped foot in Arizona, their production just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I do want to say on Chayka, like, I'm not. I was not the biggest fan of the hire. Still not the biggest fan of the hire. But like, we have to see what he does. Whatever. I think with Arizona, it is so tough sometimes, just because like, I mean, Bill Armstrong came in and did a pretty decent job, but again, things didn't even start getting really better until they moved to Utah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when John Chayka was GM there, he's like they're dealing with ownership changing, the arena uncertainty. Like there's just a whole multitude of things, and like on top of that, their staff isn't that great. There isn't an abundance of staff in general, so I don't even know what their scouting looked like. On top of that, he's this 26-year-old, which, like, again, fully grown man. I'm not defending it, but like in NHL terms, like that's a baby. Like I think Friedman mentioned, like he in that tenure in Arizona really felt like he had to like prove himself. And
Prove his power, I think, was a quote that Friedman said.
Exactly. And like that's a recipe for disaster. So
Well, I think the other thing that Friedman said on that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Seb, but I just remember listening to this on 32 Thoughts, and it kind of resonated with me. Is like a part of the reason why he thinks that. Well, it wasn't part of the reason, but he said he thinks it's good that Mats is in the front office because you're not going to win a fight with Mats Sundin in Toronto. Like you're just not going to, and it's impossible. And I think at the end of the day, the Stu Dangle podcast said this a few times. Like he was not 26 the whole time. That's not how time works. Yeah. And eventually you gotta like grow up. And I hope that he did have a chance to grow up a little bit,
dude.
Like,
I mean, if you look at it, like in the 6 years between him having whatever he's now 36, turning 37. I mean, he got married, had 3 kids, grew whatever businesses he's doing, right? Like,
yeah.
In 6 years, a lot changed in his life, and I do think I think becoming a dad in general just like will mature you a lot. So I don't know. I think I'm optimistic on that front that like I think he has matured. I don't think we're gonna see the same necessarily tire fire. It's just are the moves going to be good? Are they going to be able to evaluate talent at an elite level and find diamonds in the rough? That's what I'm concerned with. Are the trades going to be of good value for both sides? Is he going to still be able to maintain, like, what are the relationships like with other GMs? Because he says one thing, but then the media is telling us another thing. It's like, I don't know.
Seb, what I think you've just outlined is what qualifies this guy to be the general manager. You've just essentially stated, are the trades going to be good? Are the drafts going to be good? Are you going to evaluate talent? Those are prerequisites to being a general manager in this league, and those shouldn't be questions. What I was thinking while you were talking is I don't even know what qualified him to be the general manager of the Coyotes. I don't know what he did before then.
He had been AGM for a year.
What qualified him for that?
He probably was the cheapest option.
I think that's the reason the Leafs hired him too.
No, I like cheapest option. I don't think it was the cheapest option.
I mean, they gave him a multi-year deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I don't think it was cheap, but like I'm talking Arizona, he probably wasn't even making $1 million.
Probably not. I mean, he was 26 years old. Did you know that?
Half of that, dude. Like,
he is a University of Western Ontario graduate.
Yes, that's how
I didn't know that.
Met like Max Domi and Matt Sundin.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the hire. I think we have to wait and see. But I do want to talk about what he kind of said about the team. I don't have direct quotes in front of me, but I do have. I'll paraphrase. He said that they do have a lot of work to do, but they're lucky to have a core of players that a lot of other teams would love to have. And obviously, that's talking about Matthews, and that's talking about Willie, and that's talking about Nyes. I mean, now you have the first overall pick. That was this happened after the press conference, so he wasn't speaking about that in particular. But now you have McKenna. So he did say that they have a lot there, but there is moves to be made, and he specifically talked about the decor. And Jacob, you already talked about Dougie Hamilton. If that's something that maybe the Leafs organization circles back on, I don't know. I wouldn't be against Dougie Hamilton. As long as you get that salary retained, and I don't. Maybe Sonny Meta sees that situation differently, would like to keep him and change the way that they deploy him. But
Yeah, I think for sure they're gonna move off of him just because, it seems like the future is gonna be Nemec and Hughes, and I have no idea what Nemec is gonna ask for. Maybe they like bridge him at like 4 or 5 mil, but if it's a long term deal, that's gonna run you probably 8 mil plus.
That's where I was thinking.
So
I'm thinking 8 million.
You kind of have to move that Hamilton money, I think,
Yeah.
regardless. And it's been a pretty known fact that like New Jersey wants kind of that like middle six depth. I could see a partnership there. I think Dougie Hamilton fits the bill. Again, they want specifically mobile defensemen. Dougie Hamilton might not be the fastest skater, but he can
move the
skate
puck
pretty well, moves the puck well. Not necessarily going to be that number one guy, but like
Probably
I
number
don't know.
3.
He still had really good defensive numbers last year. He still can be pretty good offensively. I think he helps the power play, which is huge. They really needed that last year, a proper power play quarterback, because Riley wasn't cutting it, and OEL was okay, but they could do better. I think Hamilton improves that a lot. And the contract's not that long. I think it's only 2 more years.
The only thing I'd say is that Hamilton will be hated in this market because he is the least physical player you could find to play on your back end.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that might have to. I'd be very interested with that, just because I think that's another player that just does not work in a Berube system. I don't. I think Chayka's being respectful in the media, but I don't think the
Dude, LeBron reported yesterday he thinks if he had to bet LeBron. Pure LeBron reported yesterday that if he had to bet Berube starts the season with us next year, and that's terrifying to me.
Ways, though, like I don't know what to believe at this point. I think we have to wait for that conversation, and then we'll get like a proper confirmation. I don't know. I outlined this to you, Mateo, not that long ago, that like I think they're gonna sit down. They're gonna put those stats to Berube, all the defensive metrics last year, whatever. You could go back to the year before too, because metrics were saying they should not have been as good as they were. They're gonna show that all to him, and I think they're gonna give him the option of like, hey, you're changing your system like drastically next year. We're changing philosophies here, or you're done. And I think we know what the answer is gonna be. Yeah. That's my guess, but again, this could be a Rogers directive too, of like.
Well, that's what the thing is. They don't want to pay the money for him to
which
just sit around.
Bullshit. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Are you, like, is Rogers stressed? Like,
do you have any, I want to get back to the decor because I think Berube is a whole different conversation, because I think Berube kind of affects obviously affects the whole roster. There was one, Jacob, do you have anyone that you're looking for on the blue line that maybe you want the Leafs to take a look at?
I'm going through the list of all the defensemen in the league right now. There's only a handful of guys. Like, John Carlson's an interesting one for me. I mean,
maybe a short-term solution.
I agree. The other one, which I don't think he'll be available, but I'm a little bit curious about, also short-term solution, Roman Josi, which is going to cost an arm and a leg to acquire from Nashville. Also has a no-move clause. Also their captain, so I doubt he's available.
Yeah. You know who I was looking at? He plays for the Anaheim Ducks. He's been a healthy scratch all playoffs. Olin Zellweger. You won't have to pay a lot to get him. You're gonna need to take one of those bets on a guy where, listen, like you can say what you will about Michelli and all the bets that Brad took last year. Those type of bets are what you needed to do with the cap situation that we were in and the lack of assets. And I think Olin Zellweger is going to be low risk, potentially high reward. Like, you're going to have to give up maybe a second or third round pick, and I think that's perfectly worth it for a young defenseman who's puck moving. And
you just got 2 of those at the deadline.
Yeah.
Would you guys have taken Bobby McMahon for Olin Zellweger?
I mean, yeah, I would have probably taken it.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd do it.
Like, there's only so many like Jacob, like you just said, there's only so many options, right? And I think when you like the original guy I was looking at was Mintyukov, and I don't think they're going to move him anymore. I think they found a role for him in that decor, and
that's good for
too
them.
Much anyway, too.
Yeah. So I mean,
there's
for sure.
There's other guys out there like Cam York in Philadelphia. I doubt they'd move him because they really don't have anyone else on that blue line.
And I'm pretty sure he's been good for them, if I'm not wrong.
He has been.
Yeah, he's been okay.
Scored an overtime winner for them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Series winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, like Rasmus Sandin, you're not gonna get him back. Probably don't want him back. He's like 5'4".
Come on, man.
Ilya
He's taller
Provorov.
than both of us, man.
Whatever, dude. He's short for the NHL. Ivan Provorov rather makes $8.5 million. In case you guys forgot, nice work, Don Waddell.
Yeah.
He's also
I also
not
don't think
good.
Columbus is gonna move him. Like, why? Like, I don't know. Columbus
I don't know
is-
what direction Los Angeles is going. Mikey Anderson maybe becomes available.
Brant Clark.
Brant
Doubt
Clark
Brant
is
Clark.
one that there's one there was
I
like
don't
Brant
think he
Clark
gets
has
moved,
been.
but
I don't know. He's been rumored, man. Like I don't think the front office in LA loves him. Like he's been in trade rumors ever since they've
Yeah.
like. It feels like ever
I
since they
just-
drafted him.
I don't know if I think the time to get him would have been like a year or two ago when
Yeah.
Doughty was still kind of
Yeah, because now you're gonna
Doughty's
need him.
top 4 guy. Now Doughty's kind of fallen off. I think
Yeah.
he's becoming more important.
Yeah. So I don't know. The defenseman options are limited. We don't even need to touch on free agency because there's like nothing there.
You guys want to pay Darren Radish $9 million?
Well, okay, you know what? I do want to talk about Darren Radish. Do not go anywhere near that guy. He was a career AHLer bottom pairing guy, and all of a sudden he just put on the power play and he is elite. And it's
70
like,
points.
yeah, it's like no, that is the exact guy that if you're Tampa Bay, you let him go get $9 million somewhere else, and you're like, all right, that's fine. We'll go find the next Darren Radish.
I've been watching this league long enough to know that Darren Radish is a flash in the pan.
100%, man.
He'll
100%.
I no doubt he'll put up 30, 40 points the rest of his career, but he's
Dude,
not
it's the
doing this
Brandon
again.
Montour thing.
Yeah,
It is.
100%.
It's the Brandon Montour's better than.
Yeah, he would.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Because Montour had a long, established NHL career before he got that
he
payday in
just
Seattle.
had that
Like,
one random 70-point season.
Yeah.
And then, Seattle gives him whatever 8 by
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, and he was good before
Yeah.
then, and he's been
By
good
7,
since then.
whatever. Still been fine.
He's not
yeah.
a $7 million
So yeah,
player,
I don't
but-
know. I think if you're gonna be Chayka, like he said that they have to make some stuff happen on the blue line. The more I think about it, the more I think we're just gonna keep Mo. Like I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna be able to move that money. And if you're retaining at that point, it's like I'd rather
Be
just
honest, dude, they don't
shelter him.
They don't need to move the money too. I mean, dude, they have like 22 mil in cap space. Like they don't need to. It's not like a drastic need to move that.
I
money.
think that if you're gonna move money, I think honestly, like I didn't really think about that, and you're right. But if you're gonna move money, like you move Stolars,
Yeah.
because
I
then
was
you
gonna
have
say, what if you, this offseason, I mean, you're not going to get anybody crazy for Stolars, but like dangle him around maybe with like a pick or something. See what you can get.
you should get like a third round
lots-
pick for
there's
him at
lots of-
least. Like
There's
Call
lots of
Stan
teams
Bowman.
goalie.
You call
yeah,
Stan
I'm
Bowman.
just about to say that.
Yeah, like
Like
there's lots of
that, you
teams
could get at least a third round pick. Not at least. I think his third round pick is a fair valuation for Stolars. I mean, you look at Logan Thompson when he got traded. He got traded out of Vegas for 2 third round picks. You made a third or a fourth for Stolars.
Hart Trophy nominations.
Oh shit. Let me see.
McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov.
That
Yeah,
sounds
that's probably
about right.
fair now.
That's sucks for Celebrini, but
He got the
Yeah, I
titles.
feel like you kind of knew that was gonna happen when you don't make the playoffs. Yeah, like I don't know.
would be like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about the awards in a bit here because I think we're kind of wrapping up on. I mean, we want to talk about Berube. I think with Berube,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, Berube is quick. I mean, there's only so much you could say on him. Like they were terribly in all the underlying metrics. Everyone underperformed. Also, I mean, obviously injuries are a part of that. But I mean, I think I was looking at it with the blue tinted glasses last year when we kept winning, and it was like, and all the analytics people kept telling you, hey, elite goaltending is saving this team. Elite goaltending is saving this team, and I'm like, no, the shot volume's all from the outside. And it's like the elite goaltending is saving this team, and then Stolars and Wolf fall back to earth a smidge, and we're in a lottery. Yeah.
Yep.
So I
Dude, they got outshot every game.
yeah.
Every game they got
Yep.
outshot. They scored the 3-4 goals, whatever they needed. Held on for the rest of the game. Would get outshot a cajillion to 1. Stolars and Wool made all the high danger saves they needed to make, and then everything else was, I mean, to your point, like that is very fair. A lot of the shots were low volume, but like a defense can't save that. Like at least that defense was not able to stop everything. There were still high danger chances. It's just Wool and Stolars were so good.
Yep.
And every sign pointed to them not repeating it, but.
Jacob, do you have anything? I mean, I don't know if you have anything on Berube.
I mean, I mean, I've been maintaining for a while that Berube should have been fired in December when it was clear that this team was not going to turn it around, and they didn't do that, and they're still holding on to him. I don't really.
I think it's the biggest waste of time.
Yeah, it is.
Because you know what's going to happen?
This guy's going to get fired in December.
I was just about to say that.
November, and
it's going to be Babcock 2.0.
2 months of the season. For what?
It's going to be Babcock 2.0.
Yep. Exactly. Like, this is why I think they need to put their big boy pants on and just...
And the worst part about this is that...
Rodgers needs to be the multi-billion-dollar company that they are and just...
That owns a whole country.
Like, come on, man. You can suck up the $3 million for 2 years.
The other thing is that... The other really brutal thing is that Bruce Cassidy's just sitting on the open market right now, and we're going to go into the season with Berube, and we're going to have to go grab, like... And the other guy, like, everyone loves is David Carl out of, I think he coached at the University of Denver, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. He's not leaving, though.
I mean, he always said that it'd have to be the right opportunity. If you convince Matthews to stay, you throw a bag at him. I know Rodgers isn't in the business of throwing bags at people anymore, but, like...
Well, not for the Leafs.
Well, yeah. For the Jays, no problem.
Jays, it's fine.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. Well, like, I think it's just a waste of time. I think we all agree that they don't hold on to the puck. It's a wrong style for the team that was built. And you know what the odd thing that I remember telling this to Seb. We went out one night and we're talking about the team, and we're talking about the way that the team was constructed. And I said the problem is with Berube and Tree is that the top six cannot play Berube style hockey. They're not suited for it, and the bottom six has to play Berube style hockey because they're not suited for anything else. Because the bottom six couldn't skate, they were physical, so you needed them to play that dump and chase style. And then the top six, like, we have four checkers there, but also they're too skilled to just be throwing the puck away all the time. Like, you need them to get half possession of that puck.
Possession.
Yeah, so I think Berube and I think Tree Living created a roster that was doomed to fail. I'm not gonna act that I didn't like some of the moves that he made in the summer. I liked the Dakota Joshua move. I still want him here. I think he's a useful bottom six player.
He's great. But
this team needs to find a way to get faster, and I think we're not going to do that if Berube is going to be the head coach.
Yeah,
so
no, it's such a, especially with McKenna coming in now too. It's like this is just even more evident that like this is not going to work. And McKenna, if Berube's coach, McKenna is going to struggle for 2 months. People are going to lose their mind. The bus comments are already going to start because it's fucking Toronto and everybody wants them to fail at every possible turn.
Yeah.
That stuff's all going to start. It's going to be a mess. Like, just, you could avoid all of it if you just make the right call. Fire him now. Hire the coach that, you know, is a proper scheme fit for this team, and just move on. Suck the $3 million up, whatever.
Yeah, I don't disagree. You guys want to move on to playoffs? Just talk playoffs real quick, and then we'll give our Yeah, okay. All right. So right now we're recording this Friday, May 8th in the afternoon. It's around 12. So last night, the last game that we had was Carolina beating Philly 4-1 in Game 3 to take a 3-0 chokehold on the series, right? I mean, I think that series was the most obvious quick series. I had that ending in 5. I still think it'll probably end in 5. I think Philly might get 1 in Game 4 and then lose in Carolina.
It is so funny that we've had one game of Buffalo Montreal and
I know.
The Carolina Philly series is almost done.
Yeah, it's.
Are they on tonight? Buffalo Montreal? Are they on tomorrow?
They are.
Okay.
No, they're on tonight. It's because Montreal went to Game 7 against Tampa. I think that's the reason why the scheduling got all messed up. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys? I guess we'll start with the Carolina Philly series quickly, and we'll do quick run throughs of everything, and then we'll see where we're at with time, because I know we need to wrap somewhat soon here. But Philly, Carolina, what do you guys think heading into the series, and what do you think so far?
Um, I think that, well, okay. The Metro Division's a weird division. Carolina is by far and away the best team to come out of that division this season, so I think it's gone about as I expected it to. I think I was expecting Philly to put up a little bit more of a fight early on here, but that's also me underestimating the Hurricanes like I tend to do. Yeah, they're insane this year, and I don't know when the last time we saw a team start the playoffs 8-0 was. I kind of hope they do it just for the sake of it. I don't particularly like the Hurricanes, but it'd be cool if that happened.
Yeah, they're on a different level right now. I think this might finally be the season they make that cup final, because it's
maybe.
You know, I don't see either Montreal or Buffalo like
handling that.
Great teams. It's just they've manhandled the playoffs so far. They manhandled the rest.
Carolina's also a different monster, man. Like they're not the same. Like I know Tampa played a tight games against Montreal, and Boston plays tight too, but Carolina smothers you. Like it's not. And I think honestly, I kind of figured the series was gonna be really short when I watched the Pittsburgh Philly series. I really watched a lot of that series because I want to see Crosby in the playoffs again. Yeah. And I kept watching, and I'm like, these teams are not that great. They are really not that great. And then you go up, and this is what happens against Carolina. And I think, listen, there's always a bar in a miracle. I mean, Philly came back down from 3-0 against Boston in 2012, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah. But I don't see it happening. I don't think Philly's really been in any of the games. I think they were in last game and then ended up giving up a shorthanded goal, which is brutal.
What I will say is, I really hope Carolina doesn't win the cup this year, because I think they have one of the worst jersey lineups in the league, and it would suck to see a team win with a bad jersey.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Okay, we'll move on to the Buffalo Montreal series. Also, quickly on Carolina, just go back to the 2006 Reds that you guys.
It was right there, and there's even they made an Adidas version of that one.
I know,
so they could do it. And it looked good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. Anyways, Buffalo, Montreal. What do you guys think about this series? Obviously, I think Montreal had the luckiest Game 7 win I've seen in my life. Yep. And that's not even saying with bias. I mean, you get 9 shots and get outshot by like 20 shots. I don't really know what. Dobish is incredible. I mean, he's really showed good. Up. But what do you guys think about this series?
Go for it.
Yeah,
it's just fun. It's just refreshing. There's 2 new teams. Yeah. You know.
The other thing I was saying to my dad about this is I wish the old Leafs were in this playoff, because we got stuck in an era where teams were smothering. Imagine the young Leafs playing in a playoff against this Montreal team or this Buffalo team. Tim Matthews would have thrived in this type of playoff environment.
Yeah.
And same with Mitch. There's so much open ice between Buffalo and Montreal.
Look at how good Mitch is doing now, and it's something that we actually predicted, was that he was going to perform in the playoffs in the Western Conference, because I think that it's just more suitable to his style of play.
I will say, ghosted up until Game 6.
You're right.
I know. I know that you want him to show up in the big moments, and you can't take anything away from that Game 6. But I mean, again, -2 last game. I know plus minus doesn't matter, but he was on the ice for both goals that Anaheim scored it was a 3-1 loss, but the 2 on ice goals, with the goalie in the net, he was on the ice for. I'm not convinced on Mitch yet. I think, listen, he's doing all the stuff that he's always done well. Defensively, stud, never an issue here. It's just the goal scoring and everything like that. And I think him and Brett Howden have good chemistry going right now. But we'll see. I was going to talk about Vegas, Anaheim Nets. I think there's not much to say about Montreal. I think, who do you guys have winning that series?
I got Montreal in 7.
Montreal. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, me too. Buffalo in 7.
I just think they've been so
the other thing is that the Montreal starts have been terrible 5-on-5. Caulfield has 1 goal in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure it was a power play goal. Suzuki has 1 fluke goal in the playoffs, where it was a deflection that went off of JJ Moser at the back door, and it wasn't even going to go on net. Slavkovsky had that hat trick, but since then he's been really quiet. Like, something's got to give with Montreal here. If they don't, if Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slavkovsky don't snap out of it, it's gonna be trouble. And even Lane Hudson had a terrible game one, and he said it himself. He's like, I feel like everyone else came to play but me. So it's like, and also I know people were really, and this is not a shot at him because it's a really tough situation, but people really loved Dobson in Game 7 for some reason. I thought he was not good. Like, I thought he was not good at all.
I don't know. I thought he was okay.
I
don't know. Maybe I wasn't watching closely, but I thought he had a couple good plays. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a couple turnovers where I'm like, God, like, that's brutal. And I know you're out for a long time, but like, so it's not like a shot at him because like at the end of the day, getting put into Game 7 in your first game in like weeks is not the easiest environment. No one was going to be
ideal. Andreas Johnson.
Andreas Johnson. Just because we want him to have a farewell. Anyways, then we're gonna move on to Anaheim and Vegas. This is a really good series. I've been watching a lot of the series. It's been really fun. I think Anaheim should be up 2-0 right now. I think Jackson Lacombe, I will never forget that image of him having a wide open net and a one-timer will be burnt into my mind, and he decides to one-touch pass to Troy Terry, who's like skating through the slot with the defenseman on his back and the pass is in his feet. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then they get screwed on that icing call. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, apparently, it was
screwed.
Go look it up. It was brutal. Jackson Lacombe and Eichel are in a foot race, and Eichel actually stops skating because he thinks it's going to be icing. Yeah. And they don't call it. Vegas scores immediately after, and Joel Quenneville loses his mind, rightfully so. And Elliot Friedman said that he thinks that people in the league didn't like Quenneville's reaction. Hey, it's the playoffs. What if you called icing properly? Like, what if you just called icing properly? Like,
yeah, that's what if you knew the rules.
Yeah, what if you did your job? Like, how about that?
That's
I always hate when the league loses on coaches for getting pissy with the refs when the refs are not doing their job. Because it's like, yeah, like, don't stand them up or don't show them up. But it's like, it's the playoffs, man. Game 1, you have this game in your hands. You're outplaying Vegas. And then you get thrown away. And it's like, man, like, I don't know how you could expect a coach to react any way differently. But, I mean, I'm very impressed with Anaheim. I didn't think that they'd beat Edmonton. I thought Edmonton had another gear, and I just think that the amount of hockey they played caught up to them, and Anaheim took advantage, and now I guess they look for real, Anaheim. The other thing is, this is the weird thing. Sorry, I know I'm taking over this segment about Anaheim here. I just want to watch a lot of them. That
I haven't watched much.
Me neither.
So the thing with Anaheim is that I think the big narrative is that they didn't really beat anyone that good, and then it's like Vegas also did not beat anybody that good, like going into the playoffs. So they really struggled against playoff teams.
Yeah.
And then they beat Utah team who's also unproven. And like, are they really that great? So I'm kind of like going through this whole series. Like, are any of these teams that good, or are we waiting for a sweep in the conference final?
It's so hard to evaluate, dude. Like, I don't know. It really does feel like we're just inching towards a Colorado, Carolina.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
It never happened. It never happened.
It's never the 2-1 seeds.
Exactly. It's never the two best teams.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's never the two.
It might not be.
Like you
best
said it, actually. It's never the 2-1 seeds.
We could get a Buffalo Anaheim Cup final.
That'd be fire, man.
That'd be amazing. That would be great for the league too.
It would be. You know how fun that would be. The only problem is it's two small markets. I think Gary Bettman would rather shoot somebody on live television than have that televised as a cup final.
Yeah, I don't know.
Buffalo's a small but passionate market, though.
They are. No, they're a great market. They're a fantastic market. It's just like
Center's been insane.
Yeah. I want to be there, man. That looks like fun.
Me too. Okay, we're gonna talk about the last series, and I guess we'll give a quick picks for the Hart as the Calder.
Can I guess quickly on Anaheim?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that you hit the nail on the head, Mateo, by saying that both of these teams are they haven't beaten anyone good, and especially Vegas with the regular season they had, they somehow win the division. I'm calling out the Vegas Golden Knights right now, and you can quote me on this: frauds. And I would not be surprised to see them lose this series. I would not be surprised to see them not win another game in this playoff. And even if they get past Anaheim, I think they lose to Colorado in 3. And
I hate their goaltending, man.
They got evil
Yeah.
ass goaltending, man.
They do. And like the whole thing with if Carter Hart should be in the league is a whole separate discussion, but like that's a discussion we could have a different day. But like,
Should he be in the league or should he be in the AHL?
well, I mean,
That's the real question here.
The reason Jacob said evil ass goaltender.
yeah, but like I know, but it's both. It's like, should he be in the league? Period, because of what happened with the World Juniors, and he's also not been good. So like, yeah, he's been really bad.
Like said he's been good. I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, are we looking at the same goal?
He had an 891 this year, man.
Vegas fans saying that.
Oh,
he was,
yeah.
like, actually good this year, and like I don't know if we were watching this same. Like this dude is awful. I
Not a
just
fan.
remember his like first or second game back. Connor Bedard just like embarrassed him.
Oh my god, I was covering that game for the Hockey Writers. That was
incredible.
yeah.
He's never been too good, eh?
He's
always been
to be fair to him
top around
early.
900 guy.
Pushed into the league very young.
Yeah. Like, to be fair to him, early in his career, like, you got pushed into a really bad position in Philly where, like, Philly hasn't had a competent goaltender in, like, I'm trying to think. I thought it's like before, it was like before I was born. Like, it's,
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to count Bobrovsky, but like he was there for literally 2 years.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. He was pushed in a tough position, and now, also, what did you expect when a guy hasn't played hockey in 2 years? You're just going to bring him back into the NHL. Like, I don't know. I wonder if he comes back and he's better after the offseason, but like as of right now, I think Anaheim is too good offensively to really throw the series away. I think Vegas is obviously scoring. Well, actually, they haven't really been scoring that much against Anaheim, which is interesting because I thought Anaheim were a really weak defensive team, and we saw it in that. Yeah, and now they're like lockdown, so that's odd. It's really weird to see, but they're a fun team to watch because I think they found the perfect mix of old and youth, and I'm happy for Anaheim. I hope they take this series. At the end of the day, I think they're gonna get rinsed by Colorado, but like it's whatever. Because now
team is surviving against the Avs.
You have any more to add on Anaheim, Jacob, or do you want to move on to Colorado, Minnesota?
Let's go on to Colorado.
Yeah, I'm covering the Minnesota Wild for the Hockey Writers this playoffs, and so I covered round one. I had them beating Dallas, ended up beating Dallas. I think the biggest problem is with Minnesota right now is Joel Eriksson not there. You already have he's their best center. I know he plays second line, but I take him over Ryan Hartman. And then you're going up against the best center depth I've seen in my life with Colorado, and it's like I don't know, like what are you supposed to do when you have no center or no second line center, no first line center, and also Jonas Brodin's out, so your fourth best defenseman. So you're down a top four defenseman and a top two center on your lineup going up against this Colorado team. You're in for trouble. And Wallstead I thought was great against Dallas. They pull him after he allowed, I think, 7 it was. I think they had 2 empty netters, Colorado, if I'm not wrong. So 7 in game 1. And then Gustafsson is just... I'm not a fan of Gustafsson. I'm really not. I think he's a weird goal. I know his stats have been good. I know he has been good, but I think not good this season. Bad in the Olympics. Bad in game 2 against Colorado.
I really don't agree with the decision to pull Wallstead. Yeah. I think you got to ride with your guy there. I think success in the playoffs for goaltenders is usually teams ride with their guy when they have a bad game, you know? And I don't like the flip-flopping, and I think Edmonton is really the only team that has ever worked out for, but that's just because both their goalies were bad, and they struck gold on getting good games out of them every now and again. I don't know. Colorado seems to have a pretty good grip on this series right now.
Yeah, I was writing that, like, you need to try to get a split out of Colorado, but even though you need that, it's going to be tough when you don't have Eriksson because he's so important to that team. I'm about to write an article today on the 3 things I need to change. I think one of them is the penalty kill. I think the penalty kill has been brutal. I think they have the Leaf syndrome where they allow way too many seam passes, and it's everything that gets through the middle of the ice. It's just a highway, like puck right through the middle of the ice, puck right through the middle of the ice, and it's like then they work it down as puck back in front. So every puck that Colorado tries to get to the middle of the ice, Minnesota's been brutal at breaking it up, and that's I think the biggest thing on the penalty kill is protecting the middle of the ice, and it's not even like blocking shots, just getting sticks on pucks, making them uncomfortable, getting them out of their positioning. Like they run the umbrella. I'm pretty sure Colorado runs an umbrella. Or it looks like an umbrella to me. But anyways, maybe it's a 3-1-1. I don't know. I think maybe it's a 3-1-1. I could be wrong, or not 3-1-1.
Belt to ass, bro.
Yeah, like they're
running the belt to ass system.
They run the belt to ass. Yeah.
I mean, they have been the whole year. So,
and honestly, like Minnesota, I didn't think they played that bad in game 2.
Wait,
What?
yo, why? There's a 5 or 4 day gap between game 2 and 3 for them.
what?
Yeah.
We'll play tomorrow. Why?
Yeah, I think it's because it's a travel day and they both already. But I don't know. I think they decide that before the playoffs start. If I'm not wrong, which is, I don't know. It's really weird. It's a big gap. You know what's weird? We haven't seen any back to backs, and I feel like every time the Leafs play in the playoffs, when we go to game 7, game 6 to 7 is a back to back.
I don't think so.
Or what was the back to back? Or was it game 5 to 6?
I think
feel like we always have one to back.
I don't think the Leafs have ever had a back to back. I think the only time they
remember ever.
You know what? The only back to back
do?
they ever had was against Columbus.
We had a back to back then.
Not one against Columbus, but
Because it was on back to back days.
ideally,
Columbus blew
I
the
didn't look
3-0
this up
lead,
'cause
then the Leafs
I
blew
feel
the
like
3-0
we had
lead.
it against Boston a couple times.
I don't think
One
that ever
second.
happened.
maybe like the early Boston series.
No, even that I don't. I think there was always at least a
I
day.
don't remember ever having a back to back.
Okay, yeah, game 2017-18, game 1. Oh wait, this is regular season. Hold on, trying to get the box score up. Okay, no, never mind. Different one. Keep going. I know this is a thing.
Okay, we'll keep talking about the fact that Mateo is wrong because this only ever happened against Columbus in the playoff bubble.
I don't think this has ever happened.
I'm very confident that it didn't.
I would be very surprised if we've ever had.
The only time I think it might have is the Montreal series. And I only say that because I don't remember that time of my life very well because it was COVID.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't even think it was that though.
Maybe I am tripping.
I think you are, man.
Yeah.
I think they had it in 2013 was the one I'm thinking of. They did.
I was gonna say. Like,
Oh, man,
maybe
I don't
the
remember.
Boston series, but
It's 13 years
Yeah.
ago.
I know.
I don't remember that.
I feel like we've had it before. Tampa. Okay, whatever. Not
you just ask
important.
ChatGPT, bro.
Oh yeah, love it.
The Keith Murray special.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, yeah, Colorado I think takes this series. I think it's gonna be tough to beat Colorado 4 times in 5 games. I think it would have to be over 40. Yeah, so
Pretty.
I don't
hard.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. That's belt to ass.
yeah. All right. Do you want to run through our awards and wrap?
Sure.
Okay. Hard trophy. Who do you guys have?
David.
McDavid.
I actually don't know, so I'll say McDavid.
McDavid was so good for such a shitty Edmonton team.
Yeah, like,
That's
this
what
was-
I'm thinking,
This was
yeah.
such a brutal step back year for them, I think, just all around, and he was dynamic. He
Yeah.
was McDavid.
All right. Norris candidates were Werenski, McCarr, Dowling. Who is yours?
I'm going with Dowling.
I'm also going Darlene.
I'm gonna go Werenski. I think Werenski, even though Columbus didn't make the playoffs, that I think he was a complete beast this year. I think he was one of the only
good year.
reasons why they were in the running for so long. And
Fair enough. Yeah.
part of it is also Werenski's been so good for so long that I feel like you gotta give him a Norris. I know it's tough because I think Dowling's season in Buffalo is one to remember, and I think if you had it in any other year, I would have given it to him just as they broke the streak. But
Yeah.
yeah. Did you see what the Calder awards were? I didn't get the chance.
It was Beckett Seneca.
Demidov and Seneca, I believe.
It's
Yep.
Schaefer for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you could go anywhere different.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it's Schaefer.
Yeah, sorry, Demidov, Seneca, Schaefer. Yeah, I'm going. I don't think he changed the dynamic of the Islanders in 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah.
23 goals as a rookie defenseman is ridiculous.
Okay.
But yeah,
now we'll
Zach.
go. Yeah, we'll go Vesna now. I'm just trying to through this quick because I know Jacob, we need to wrap like now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Uh,
who are the nominees?
the Vesna nominees are Ilya Sorokin, Jeremy Swayman, and Andrei Vasilevsky. Yeah, it's an extremely strong class this year. I'm gonna lean Swayman. I think based off, yeah, I think I lean Swayman. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't looked deep into the numbers, but I know Swayman's had a monster year, and for a Boston team that wasn't very good, he brought them to the playoffs. And after a year of everyone kind of doubting him, and rightfully so because he was brutal last year, he comes back after a full summer. Yeah, yeah, comes back after a full summer, plays maybe the best hockey of his career, grabs his form back, goes into the playoffs, and I think Boston the whole season. I think Boston was a pretty mid team. I don't think they were ever that good. I think there was a lot of just Pastrnak and Swayman and McAvoy, sure, whatever McAvoy. And I think that's about it. I think it was literally Pastrnak, Swayman, and friends, and I think he brought them to the playoffs. Buffalo overmatched them. I didn't think Swayman was like fantastic in the playoffs, but I also didn't think he was bad. But also, this is not a playoff award, so it doesn't really matter. I just think Swayman had the best year. I was leaning Sorokin, but Sorokin starts to fall off near the back half, like near the very end of the season, and that's why the Islanders didn't make the playoffs. This is realistically the only reason why they were in that playoff spot was the goaltending they were getting. Yeah,
yeah, he was the only. That's why I was gonna say, would have given it to him just because. Yeah, he was literally one of the only reasons. Him and like Schaefer were the only two reasons they were even competitive this year. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling Vasilevsky a little bit on this one. I think he's also a good pick. I don't think you can go wrong with this though. I think they all had good years. I don't think anyone's going to be upset either way.
Yeah, I think honestly and the NHL will never do this, but I think because of how low they finished their lottery team, but Shesterkin, like the splits between when he played and when he didn't play were like unbelievable. Like New York was like an actual like respectable team when Shesterkin was in the net in comparison to complete and utter dog shit when he wasn't in the net.
He deserved the nomination.
Yeah, and I know he got hurt this year too, so maybe it's a games played thing as well. But like, Shesterkin is not getting the love that he needs.
Okay, guys, last one.
Yeah.
Last word. Bill Masterton. Who are we picking?
What were the? It was Dali and.
Bill Masterton.
I don't care.
Matthew Robertson was nominated on the Rangers. The fuck? Okay.
Who was the comeback player of the year? They released those. Didn't they release the comeback player of the year?
I don't think. I still think
it was like the Bill. What's the player who came back from the most?
Well, Bill Masterton.
Is that the Bill Masterton?
Who worst tragedy award?
Like perseverance.
Right. But they dropped the finalists. I'm pretty sure. That was the award I was talking about.
There aren't finalists. It's like
are there not? I thought there was.
Each team gets a nominee.
I think there were 3 finalists, and I think it's weird that there's 3 finalists for this award. I think they should just pick a guy.
Like a nominee. So I think it was Darlene Landeskog, and somebody else. I don't know.
Taves.
Taves, yeah.
Yeah, I would go.
I was joking, by the way. We don't actually have to pick.
Oh, I mean, it's like they're all fantastic, but like Dalian, I think his wife was like having heart surgery in Sweden the whole time he was playing, and that's not easy. So
Landeskog has earned it too.
I'm like, you're asking me to pick who had like.
I know. I always feel weird. I imagine voting on that. It's like, nah, his struggle was harder.
Who had the worst? Like there was one year where it was like Bobby Ryan was coming back from alcoholism, and like Jordan Stahl lost his child, and like, man, what is this? What is this award? And then I think there was like Pekka Rinne was just injured a lot.
There was one. The NFL has like
that's like Landeskog. It's like this guy thinks he's never gonna play hockey again. Doesn't play for like 3 years. We all think he's cooked, and then he's back.
And he's good.
He plays almost 82 games. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong.
I think he played like 60, but still.
He was an effective player.
Not playing for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Good for you.
There was this one, the comeback player of the year in the NFL. It's pretty much a Bill Masterton, but for NFL. And I remember when DeMar Hamlin died. I'm a Bills fan. When DeMar Hamlin died on the field, he didn't win it that year. It was actually Joe Flacco for coming back from being old. Like, he's just like an old dude that like had a good season. And I was like, DeMar Hamlin died on the field and got got brought back to life. It's
Did
like,
he actually die on the field?
Yeah, his heart stops. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was crazy when that happened.
Yeah. Anyways, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed the pod. We will try to get more consistent pods out throughout the summer too. There's gonna be a lot of stuff in Leafland, I think. I'm assuming. I mean, they have to make moves, so
it should be a busy summer.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna be posting a lot more on TikTok and Instagram. I think I'm not an editor in Leaf anymore, so all my Leafs content will now be reels and posts. So look out for that.
Shit posting.
Shit posting. All right.
Except
All right, guys. Have a
dancing
good
with
day.
no
Hope you
music.
enjoyed.